We are back. I have some views set up. This one I just kind of pivoted the camera around and I turned off the edges and turned on the shadows and moved the sliders around a little bit to get get it to look the way that I want it to look. So I've got those things set up. I'm going to select a default style that's a lot lighter, and I'm going to turn off the shadows because every time I move the model, it's got to think about how to reprocess those shadows. So this is going to be a lot easier for me to move around as I'm setting up my next view, which is going to be a section cut. So I'm, it's kind of hard to see, but it's processing a lot faster. It's using a lot less memory to process right now. So I'm just doing that so that it doesn't spin forever and time out. So I'm going to go up here to Tools. I am going to select this, which is the section plane, or Control Y. And you can see it's wanting to stick to things. If I tapped it here, it would cut downward. I want to cut right through this basketball court. So this red box that's sticking to the basketball court, that's perfect for me. It's going to ask me what I want to name it. You can name it whatever you want. For our purposes, we don't really need it. And you can see I've got a couple in here because I was playing around with this. I'm just going to delete these. But I'm going to move this. You can move it as needed. And I just want to slide it forward a little bit so that I'm kind of cutting through the gazebo area. So I'm just going to use the move tool. That's just M on your keyboard. And I'm going to slide it back and forth. Pretty, pretty close to the center there. And then I'm going to select the view that I want. Up here, these are your orthogonal views. And yeah, that's pretty good. It's cutting through the gazebo. I can kind of move this around a little bit, get that line of sight looking the way that I want it to look. But if I want this to be um, a traditional section, and I just changed the style back there by clicking this first one. I'm going to go up here to camera and parallel projection, and that will give me, you can see it kind of, you can see how far off I was from the horizon line. But that starts to give you that true view of the, pardon me, the orthogonal view, which is what we want. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to add this as a scene. It might be a little bit off. This takes a little bit of finesse, but you'll get good at it the more you do it. And I'm going to add this as a scene. And then I'm going to turn off the edges and the profiles. And then I'm going to add, actually, before I do that, I'm going to look and see if there's a style that I like a little bit better. Kind of want one that doesn't have that grayness to it. So I just selected this one, and now I'm gonna turn off my profiles, my edges, and I'm gonna add that scene. Create new scene, yes, okay, cool. And then let's do a plan. So I'm gonna come back up here to my standard views. I'm gonna click this one. That'll give me an overhead. Sometimes it needs to, sometimes you just have to hit the zoom extents to get that back. You see my section plane is in here, so I can't see the rest of the site. So I'm going to go up here to view and I'm going to uncheck section cuts. And that will give me the rest of my site back. And I want a rendered plan, so I'm just going to keep this in here and hit add. But then I also really want something with just the line work. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to select this guy, because that'll give me the line work, and you see it put the section cut back in here. So view, uncheck section cuts. And then you can add. So I'm going to check this. I'm going to check between these two and make sure this didn't move too much. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, and now I'm going to save it and then we are ready to export.